Hey fam, hey, welcome back to my channel. Guys, we are here. We are at the season finale of Sister Wives, season 17. Now, I did not realize it was a finale until it went off and we saw our preview for next week. We are going to talk about that. But let's go right ahead and jump into it. Now they're meeting again at Mary's house. Surprise, surprise. Because remember, Mary used to always say nobody ever came to her house. Cody never came to her house. Well, we have a circle conversation happening outside of Mary's house. Cody actually asks her how she is. He even laughs with her, talks about how he's breathing and he's alive because he's just gotten over COVID. He again goes 3 steps too far, though, in that conversation in what? Talking about himself, because we all know that he's a narcissist. He wants to make his journey through COVID like worse than anyone's in the world. Last I checked, Cody, you just dropped somebody off at the hospital. You did not stay. You didn't even go inside. So he's saying that anybody who only lost their smell or taste, only did such and such, could not have understood what he was going through when he wants to grab them by the shoulders and say, "Look what I went through." Man, cut it out. Janelle asks if they want to see her plans because that's frankly what she's there for. But then they decide, no, it's kind of weird that we're talking about plans and Coyote Pass when we haven't even talked since Christine left. So we kind of need to get that out on the table first. And of course, it's Robin who brings it up. I would like to just jump in right now and say that I totally agree with everyone who has now decided to call her snobbin, because it's true. The sobbin part, you actually have to shed a tear to be sobbin, and we know that she never has. So I'm going to jump on that snobbin train, right? So let's just go ahead and keep it there, or sass, because that's the name that I like. So Sabin wants to talk about what happened, again, because it seems weird that Christine is not there, and she wants to talk about the family relationships. So essentially, girlfriend, you want to write a check that your ass can't cash with tears. Watch yourself. Y'all, I thought for a moment that She-Ra had showed up. She even said a cuss word, girl. She had to get a bleep. Did y'all hear the bleep? She said that if we were ever going to live in one house, because of course we have to go back to the big one house conversation. If we're ever going to live in one house, there would be a lot of beep to figure out. I said, oh, She-Ra came today. She-Ra came today. And how everybody wanted it except Christine. Because, of course, we still got to keep blaming Christine. Christine was the only one who said she did not want to live in one house. But Mary was like, I don't really have anything to say. Robin was like, I don't know. I've never done it before. And, of course, Janelle was like, yes, one house, one house. And Christine was like, hell no, hell no. So, whatever. Janelle makes it known that she was the only one that was jumping up and down for that, too. She puts it on out there. So, whatever. Now, after COVID, Robin says that, of course, they need to talk. They need to really start working things out because we don't do anything but sit there and sweep things under the rug. And Cody says, Robin is absolutely right. COVID exposed us. Nah, punk, you exposed y'all. You're the one who decided that you didn't want to see your kids. You're the one who made all these rules. Well, that's debatable because, of course, we think that Robin made the rules. But you're the one who went ahead and enacted those rules, right? So you're the one who exposed your family. You're the one you and Robin are the ones that are really together. You started to really let that favoritism show and everybody reacted to that. So at this point, She-Ra quickly goes away and has that old familial glottal stop in that deep, thick neck of hers and says, I just want to work things out. Ugh, girl, cut it out. You and the dramatics. Janelle says she is not interested in having any kind of a Christine bashing convo. So until she has to speak, basically what I saw is that she won't. She's not saying anything about her friend Christine. If you coming to look at the plans, let's look at the plans. If you here to bash Christine, I ain't with the shits. That's what she said. But then Janelle basically blows up Robin's spot and is basically shocked that she is sitting there trying to play victim. I had no idea that they were being told to apologize. I don't know why Christine left. Girl, she blew up your spot and said, Kody has told me about conversations that you have had with him about things that Christine did. You talked about Christine behind her back, trying to get Janelle on the side of you and Kody about how horrible she was. Right? But what you didn't count on was that them hoes wasn't loyal. And by hoe, I mean Kody. Kody went and told his bestie you was flapping your gums and told what you said. So in her confessional, Meri says that she can't decide if she should say anything about the relationship that she's having with Kody. And, she just doesn't know. And then at the end, just before commercial, she says, so when we come back, we see Meri in her confessional again. And like I said, she had decided to go ahead and tell Kody what was on her mind, right? And she realizes that the very thing that Kody is upset with Christine about are things that he's done to her. Are you finally beginning to wake up out of your slumber, Meri? Are you? Somehow I don't think so. I will say, though, I believe that Meri does not live there anymore. She may rent a place there, but I think that her renting a place is truly just to come back in and film the show. And then I think she gets back on the road and goes back up to the B&B, hangs out with her friend Jen or whatever it is they do, decorating for Christmas, holding whatever her MLM retreat is, all that kind of stuff. So I think that's what she does. I don't think she lives there full time. I mean, why would you want to live someplace where don't nobody wants you? I don't stay no place where I'm not wanted. So basically, she talks about having had numerous conversations with Robyn, and she's been there sticking it out 10, 15, 20 years. And it's one of the first times that I feel like we see this little peek into her saying, hey, wait a minute, Robyn, I know you're trying to feel your oats and you're trying to, have a voice, but don't use that voice to belittle what I've been doing, because I've been sitting over here waiting for somebody to pay me some attention. I've been over here holding it down. I'm the one who brought you into the joint. Don't discount my service. Meri, listen, girl, they're not talking about you. They barely talking to you. Even with Christine gone, you are still the last to be spoken to, about, or considered. I'm going to let you sit in that. So then Kody says, well, I even realize right now that Meri is actually, trying to help me out, but I don't even want to be in a relationship with her. Then Kody says, Robyn is the best communicator. What? She's the best communicator? Really? Because every time I hear Robyn, it's, I don't know. I'm just not supposed to say anything. I wasn't aware. I wasn't sure. I've tried to do, and I haven't been able to do. I don't know what your definition of communication comes from, but I feel like a lot of your definitions are all over the place. I'm going to need you to get a thesaurus for Christmas. Somebody buy this man a dictionary and a thesaurus, please. Right. So then after he says that she's the best communicator, he kind of gives her what I think he thinks is a compliment and calls her a donkey. That she's doing what's called circling the donkey. And that's when you go around and around in a circle and you go round and around until you get to the bottom of an issue. Not a position that I would want to be in. Thanks for the compliment of a donkey. I don't want it. So then Robyn turns to, Janelle and says, okay, I need to hear from you. And Janelle simply says, mic drop. My kids don't feel welcome. And it's not just Gabe and Garrison. It's all the kids. Then Robyn has to say, well, when have they not felt welcome? If you notice, every time that Robyn would direct a question to Janelle, Janelle would answer to Cody. She would never talk directly to Robin. I think Janelle is over Robin. I think Janelle was over Robin week 1 of her being there, and she's still over her. She doesn't want to form a friendship with you, really. You are here because you were a sister wife, and that is about as much as she wants to have deal with you, really, right? Robin gives Cody a pat on the head. Good boy, because he answers the question if he wants to work it out just for conversation's sake, or if he really wants to have a conversation for resolve. And he says, resolve. And she goes, right. Good boy. She just pats him on the head. Yeah. So then basically Janelle says, I just want to run away. Like, it would be so much easier to do that. And Robin says, I don't want that. Now, I imagine silently in my head, if I were a friend of Janelle's and she called me on the phone and said, I want to tell you what I was really thinking when Robin said that, I would imagine that she's saying, I don't give a good goddamn what you want. It's not about what you want. Right? And then Robin dramatically whispers, there should only be one world. One world. Then Robin goes on some tirade about what monogamous men do and how women suck and how Cody's lining them all up, me included, and he's hurt because Christine left. Mary's still sitting there collecting her check because she's like, listen, I'm barely here. I just need my money and I need to just be able to go, right? Janelle says, well, I got to go get Savannah. That's code for y'all can sit here and talk about this if you want to. I came to show y'all some plans. I'm not here for the get down. I'm out. I really loved that she was using that, though, because it's like all of a sudden they start looking at Janelle's plan like she snapped him back into attention. So there's only so many times that you can just like say that you're going to talk about something and talk about something and talk about something and discuss it until you just get to a point like Janelle where you got other things to do. You don't have the time for that, because I know I ain't got time for that, child. Don't you know that an elephant does not worry with the license or the merit or the concerns of a mouse? An elephant don't worry about it. Janelle has moved into an apartment and Cody comes by. As he walks in the door, I guess he expected Savannah to react like his other kids, Ari and Saul, and jump up and down, clapping her hands, going, Daddy, Daddy. Savannah sat there looking like, hey, what's up, dude? And she says in her couch interview, it's not that much different because it's not like he's staying there. He's just visiting, right? And of course, Cody being judgmental, judges the apartment. And of course, Janelle knows that he's going to judge it because he's not living in what his standard of living usually is, which is the mountain and the mansions and all of those things that he shares with Robin. We get a surprise this episode as we cut to Christine in her new duplex in Utah, and she is loving it. She's outside. She is, roasting burgers, hot dogs, sitting there talking with her kids. But I did catch a little glimpse when she says that she loves it. I caught this glimpse of Aspen looking side-eyed at Truly like, how you feel, Truly? You like it, girl? Kind of like that. Truly doesn't move a muscle, right? Then she kind of walks it back. And Christine, I love you. But I was a little, not upset with you, but just upset in my spirit with what you say you realized about yourself and how you had communicated with Robin and her kids. And you were saying that if they heard what you felt you said, then that is why they think you don't want a relationship with them, and that you need to build a bridge with Robin in order to have a relationship with them. I'm not quite sure I believe in that, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Robin did not try to build a bridge with you. Robin always let you come to her and say you were sorry and offer branches, olive branches and gifts. I don't recall her ever coming to you and saying, maybe I hurt you. I think probably like in season 1, she cried about not wanting to hurt her sister wives, but I don't think she ever went to Christine and said, I know it's probably really hard for you that I'm coming in now. I'm sure that it's really hard because you have been the last wife all this time. I'm sure it's really hard because he was kissing me while you were having a baby and we really shouldn't have been. I know that was probably hard. She also talked about you behind your back, Christine. I don't want to build a bridge with anybody who talks about me behind my back. Me being who I am, I'm going to let you talk. Then I'm going to let you know that I heard what you said, and then we're done. I can be cordial to you. I can walk by you in the hallway, and you not even be there. I can say, hey, and keep it moving. I don't need to build a bridge. Robin even called you a liar to your face and told you that she could not believe what you were saying about your own relationship with Cody. She has said that you did not try when all of us out here have been watching you try, whether it was a talk with Cody privately, whether it was Nancy and the therapy that you did. When you went on vacations, you took the therapist with you. Girl, you have tried. You do not need to build a bridge with Robin. The last thing that Robin does, and she does this with everybody, but she really did it with you, is that she takes your word and she twists them to make herself look like the victim. You asked her she asked you if you needed space. You said, for now. She took 2 words and turned it into a whole dramatic monologue about how you want no relationship with her children and that if you come and visit to drop Truly off, she will just stay out of your way. 2 words, monologue. So if I really think about it, you never said you didn't want a relationship with Robin's kids. She did. The many voices in her head told her that, and she believed them. Child. We are back at another circle conversation, this time at Cody and Robin's house, and we're basically gearing up for another temper tantrum from toddler 2 curls. Robin seems to support Mary in her confessional, but not to her face. We revisit the COVID years and how he expected an apology, and in his revisionist history on what he said, because he's not hearing anything except what he wants to hear. Like he tries that sort of bob and weave that he used on Christine, on Janelle. Like he tries to get himself all worked up and he starts pounding the chair and jumping up and down and whatever. I'm going to tell you what Janelle did. Janelle did her hair toss, checked her nails, and said, that's my cue to exit. Cody says it would be a bad idea for you to walk away on this one. And after Robin's begging for them to sit and talk, can we just sit and talk? Can we talk? And she's like, not if he gonna be yelling at me like that. I'm not his child. Robin said, well, if he promises not to yell. Janelle checks her watch and says, I have a few minutes, but, and again, in my head, like if we was talking on the phone about it and she called me and said what she was really thinking, Janelle would have said, yeah, I had a few minutes. I checked my watch and walked back over there. But in my mind, I was saying, you feel froggy again. I'm gonna leave. Y'all, Janelle looked like she could fight. I'm just saying. I feel like if you got her real upset, I think she could fight. I mean, if you fight her, she might not win, but you're going to know you've been in a fight. That's what I feel like. So after a little bit more discussion about, the apologies and what he said and him needing to then have Robin and Mary jump in and have his back up and try to yes man him and all that kind of stuff. Even Robin, I had to give it to her on this one thing. She was like, well, what do you want us to comment on? So they didn't have nothing to say. So he sits, he calms himself down. He has a bottle. We've changed his diaper. And he apologizes to Janelle. Because you know how in pre-K they teach you to go and apologize to who you've done something to. And then he could go ahead and play with blocks. So he went ahead and he applied to Janelle. And she seems to accept it. She's like, okay. But of course, in the preview for next week, we get a surprise. Now, I know that a lot of YouTubers have already revealed the surprise. But they say that they are separated, hunty. Now, a question that I heard earlier, which is a very valid question, is why does he say that he's divorced from Christine but separated from Janelle? I'm going to say that it's as simple as semantics. Christine decided definitely we are not going to be in any sort of relationship other than raising our kids together, aka Truly. We are divorced. This is how I see it. Now, do you guys remember how when Mary divorced him legally, he made a big deal about the word divorce because he was saying that society put this really heavy weight on the word divorce, but he didn't really see it that way. It's interesting that that is what Christine chose, because if it is really what they believed, that divorce held this heavy weight from society, then I think Christine wanted to make it very clear. I am divorced from Kody. Janelle is still riding that fence on the separation. But of course, we know that this was a while ago. And I think that this is very telling that what we have been seeing in the news and in the magazines recently is that they are no longer together. I think it probably proves, maybe not even proves, I think it points that about 95% of a way we are on. We're on our way 95% to a confirmation that they are now spiritually divorced, because there are no legal papers to say they are divorced. They were never legally married. But if we're going to use the word divorce, I think that they are at that road. All right, y'all. That is all I got for this week. I have to say, if I had to give this a grade, I would give this episode a 95%. And the 90% is the show, because we finally kind of get to see what is going to lead to season 18, which I feel like is going to be the demise and the separation of Kody and Janelle. We finally have gotten to realize that Janelle and Robyn, I think we see some of the issues that she talked about last week. They don't talk about those issues. Maybe they will in season 18. Maybe they will in the one-on-one tell-all that is coming up next week. And I think it will be a 3-parter. So I will definitely be reviewing that. But I think that we finally see what is the end of Janelle and Kody, and it'll play out in season 18. But until then, until next week, though, I'll be on the lookout, because I'm sure there's going to be some things coming out from that tell-all. You know, they love to drop a little video here and there, hunties, and they like to tell us what's coming up. So when they tell me, I'll tell you. Remember, if there's anything that you want to do, don't let anybody stop you. There's enough room for everybody. Hopefully when you came in, you hit that like, that share, and the subscribe. My goal for the first of the year is 2,000 subscribers. I'm trying really hard to get there, and I thank you for those that have added yourself since I started that goal. You got me to 1,000. Let's see if we can make 2. If I don't hear from you again, thank you for stopping by, and happy holidays. All right, y'all. Peace, love, and hair grease. We out.